The Islamic empires of the early modern era. This is chapter 27. This is all gunpowder empires. The three gunpowder empires are the Ottomans, which basically occupy the modern day Middle East, some of the Balkans, and some of North Africa. The Safavids in the Iranian area of today and a little bit further east into a little bit of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And then the Mughals, who are basically modern day India and some Pakistan. Things that they all share. They all share the fact they are Islam. They are Islamic based as their main religion. However, they all have significant minority religions, especially Christianity. In the further west you go and the further east you go, it's more Hindu. They are all authoritarian in nature. They rule with absolute power, whether that's the sultans in or with the Ottomans as being one of your main ones, empires with the rest of them. Bureaucracy comes from Turkish and Mongol traditions basically throughout because, well, the Mongols had conquered, especially where the Safavids and some parts of where the Mughals were before you get too far south. They all have succession issues. Shah Abbas for the Safavids kept his family locked up and killed them or blinded them. You have brothers strangling people. It doesn't work. I mean, you have interfamily conflicts all over the place. Women are banned from activity but play a political role, whether that's the building of the Taj Mahal that we'll talk about with the Mughals, or whether that is harem sultana in the Byzantines. Akbar does a lady shopping night throughout to try to keep women at a certain level. So, as a whole, they all have a lot of things in common, but the biggest one is the top one there. They are all gunpowder empires. They have military conquest. They're going to run into each other, especially the Ottomans and the Safavids are rivals, but they're going to control this part of the world for, I mean, the Ottomans are 12, well, so let's go to the Ottomans. It's 1289 to 1923. They're all going to rule for a long time. The Ottomans are Sunni Muslim, which I spelled wrong, and I will correct right now. There you go. They are Sunni Muslim, and they are generally telling people they start on the Anatolian peninsula. It's basically modern day Turkey with Ottoman Bey. Bey means chief. Starts the dynasty there. He wants his followers to be Ghazis or Muslim religious warriors. A Ghazi is an instrument of religious or of the religion of Allah, servant to God who purifies the earth of filth and polytheism. Ghazi is the sword of God. That's a quote from Osman Bey, the protector and the refuge of the believers. So basically, they're going to go out and they're going to start to convert people, and it gets bigger and bigger as you go. They are gaining wealth along the way. If I go down here to this one, okay, you can see here the dark brown area is where they're going to start. Now, notice this little area right there. They're not going to get Constantinople till 1453 when Mehmed comes in and will conquer. Mehmed the Conqueror. Now, between Osman Bey, which is here, and then Mehmed. So there's a little bit of time there. The Devonshire system is rolling. The Devonshire system was multiple forces, but it basically trains people. Trains, and they're going to take Islamic boys, but they're also going to capture young Christian boys, force them to convert to Islam, and they become just this huge system in place. But the biggest thing that they train is the elite loyal Janissaries. They learn Turkish, they convert to Islam, and people wanted to be a part of this because of the education that they receive. And it is they're loyal to they're loyal to the Sultan. They are completely loyal to the Sultan. That is who they're loyal to. Now, Mehmed, after he conquers Constantinople, which by the way they thought was an unconquerable city, it only had 50,000 people in it at the time, and the walls were supposed to fill up, and they didn't, and the gunpowder was eventually going to take them out here. They're going to rebuild. They rebuild, and Istanbul again becomes a commercial center, and then they move to take over the rest of the Balkans. You see here, this is going to be all where they have anything in color. They are at the peak under Suleiman. Before Suleiman Selim the First, also known as Selim the Grim. I don't know why he's called the Grim, but yeah, Suleiman is going to take over Baghdad, Iraq. He's actually going to take on the Habsburgs and try to conquer Vienna. A good what if of history is what if he had conquered Vienna? He put a siege on it and it didn't work. But what if he had been successful in then moving into the rest of the Holy Roman Empire? And those Janissaries would have provided them a significant advantage as they had moved into more in Europe. Another thing that wouldn't have really helped in the conquest of Europe, but did help in the rest of the Mediterranean, is the fact They had created just this big naval power, and they could do whatever they wanted basically in the Mediterranean. Well, they don't make it a complete lake like the Romans had done. They get a long ways to it. I mean, they go, if I go back to the map here, I mean, you can see they basically have a lot of North Africa and a decent amount of the eastern part. So they're pretty dang powerful when you control the entire Mediterranean. Now, Suleiman himself is going to marry one of his concubines, which is pretty controversial to marry one of your concubines. And he elevates his concubine to a level not equal of him, but next to him, I would say. Suleiman will be, so the woman in his life, Harem Sultana, is just right next to him, and she is a very um, outgoing personality, very much, and people liked her when they were on her side. They either liked her or hated her, and that's mainly due to the fact you have she'd been a concubine. So your really conservative Muslims are going to be very much against her, but everyone else basically liked her. Now the government setup was really pretty good. It's got a pretty good bureaucracy going on. It makes him incredibly powerful. He's pretty nice to the Christians and the Jewish communities. They report directly to him, the head of those communities, and this lowers the amount of conflict because they can talk things out very quickly. All they have to do is pay the jizya, and then they will be okay. Suleiman is also a major studier. He studies major poetry, history, geography, astronomy, math, and architecture. They build amazing buildings, especially in in Istanbul, where they have rebuilt most of the city. And this makes it travel in the Mediterranean is actually pretty easy because they are going to challenge most of the pirates in the Mediterranean to keep them under control. I would say in terms of governing, his two biggest accomplishments are definitely simplifying the tax system, a balanced budget, and creates a new law code that is fair to basically everyone. And I mean, Suleiman, there's a reason he gets the Magnificent because it's a 50-year rule almost, and it's the height of the Ottoman Empire.